Temples and dungeons have played a big role throughout the Legend of Zelda's series. They offer many different challenges that the player will have to face, and each has a unique theme. Throughout these temples, players will need to do things such as find keys to unlock doors, solve puzzles, and then at the end of each of these dungeons, they will have to face a boss that matches the theme of the dungeon. After they defeat these bosses, they will receive some sort of artifact that they can use to advance throughout the world's story, and then eventually face the main boss of the game. This has been a staple throughout the Legend of Zelda for quite some time. However, in Breath of the Wild, traditional dungeons and temples were switched over in favor of divine beasts, large mechanical creatures created by the Sheikah. And in Breath of the Wild, these divine beasts are corrupted by Calamity Ganon, and it is up to Link to go into these divine beasts and free them of this corruption so that they can be used to help defeat Calamity Ganon. It was an interesting new thing, and it was very different from the traditional dungeons where you had keys, puzzles, and different themes. The divine beasts were very similar in their approach. They all looked kind of the same as far as, the texture and the color of them. Only thing that was really different was how the puzzles were and the shape of the divine beast. You had different animals, and that was pretty much it. Other than that, they worked the same, and it was kind of like a Rubik's Cube type of thing, and that was pretty much how the divine beasts were. So they were a lot different. That being said, it would appear that in Breath of the Wild 2, when we watch the trailer, just for a second, we actually get to see what appears to be the possibility of traditional dungeons making a return, as we see the entrance to what appears to be a dungeon or a temple. And looking at this dungeon or temple or whatever this might be up close and really dissecting into it, it really is interesting, because the first thing that I noticed when really looking at it is it appears to have a face on the very front. You can see horns, eyes, a nose, a jaw with teeth, and then on the bottom you can also see what appears to be either hands or feet. This is interesting because if this is in fact a temple or a dungeon, then perhaps maybe this is the very first boss that we will fight in Breath of the Wild's sequel. And this figure on the front of this structure really reminds me of the boss in Ocarina of Time, Bongo Bongo, as it has the two hands on the bottom and then two big eyes. Maybe it works the same way as Bongo, like a Bongo Bongo, where you hit the hands and then hit the eyes, and then maybe the mouth opens and you throw a bomb in its mouth, similar to, I think the name was Gohonda from Wind Waker. But that was another boss that you would hit the hands and then throw a bomb into. So maybe that's what this is this is the very first boss in the game, and this is the dungeon that we will go into to face it. This could be the front of the dungeon, or maybe this is what boss doors look like. Who knows what we're looking at, because you can't really see anything else. So I don't really know if we're like outside or if we're inside of a structure and this is what the boss doors look like, or if this is outside. Can't really tell because we're really close up to the structure, so you can't really see any sky or anything, and it's kind of foggy. They have this image really clouded, so you can't really see a lot of detail in it. But I noticed that, and I got to thinking that that might be what it is. And if it's not that, I thought of something else that it could potentially be, and it's maybe this is the entrance to the cave that Zelda and Link are seen traveling in the beginning of the trailer, and where they discover the mummified Ganondorf. Maybe this is the cave that is, in. And that could also be the case, because maybe this figure on the front of this structure is none other than the beast version of Ganondorf. Maybe that's what this is, and this is just the beast version of Ganondorf, and inside it is the mummified version of Ganondorf. And so that's also a possibility. And I also thought, if it's not those two things, then maybe this could be Ganondorf's castle. Maybe when the castle is going up into the air at the end of the sequel trailer, maybe Ganondorf is not only lifting the castle up, but transforming it like he does in Ocarina of Time when he transforms Hyrule Castle into his own castle. So maybe this is the transformed version of Hyrule's castle into Ganondorf's castle, and this is like the front entrance to that castle. Or like I said, maybe this is the boss door to Ganon's room. Who knows? I just thought it was interesting, and I hadn't really seen any videos talking about this. I've seen other videos talking about other things like the glowing hand or the mummified figure that everybody believes to be Ganondorf, and Zelda with short hair, but I haven't really seen too many videos talking about this frame right here that only last about a second or two. But I just thought it was interesting, and I wanted to really dissect into it and really look at it. And when I noticed that face, I thought it was very interesting, because this could be either the entrance to a dungeon, and this is like the first boss, or this could be like a reference to the beast version of Ganondorf, and this is the front entrance to his castle or something of that nature, or the cave that he was in the trailer. Who knows? I just thought it was interesting, and I wanted to make a quick video on it and just kind of discuss these details, because it looks cool, and I like that they kind of clouded it up to sort of hide it, but you can't really tell exactly what it is because of the clouding. And we don't know if this is inside of a structure and this is just something inside, or if this is outside. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably outside. But that's pretty much all I have from examining this, is that there is a face on it, and it could potentially be a dungeon or something else. But I'm going to go ahead and end this video here, and I will see you all on the next one. See ya then.